Alright, so boom. We just got a big ol' fat post from both the Dokkan Global and Dokkan JP sides of the game, where it is essentially a trailer exploring all of the anniversaries, but predominantly focusing on a bunch of the higher quality animation characters, such as the 7th, the 8th, and then inevitably the 9th here somewhere, right? But at the end, it ends off with 2024 12, and we get finally the 10-year boom, the badge flashes. So we're already getting a few comments, such as this meaning something like, you know, does this mean Kamehameha? Nanogenics is right here. Kamehameha theme for 10th Annie. Toon says 10th Annie free to play unit. Let's go and explore Kamehameha as a theme, and then we'll go on to what I think this actually just means. So here we have some obvious Kamehameha characters. You could say Kamehameha as a quote-unquote theme, but at that point, aren't you just saying every single conceivable fight that has ever happened in Dragon Ball? You know what I mean? You know, that's exaggeration, but like, what does that really mean? It could, if Kamehameha is the theme, you're essentially looking at the vaguest reveal in the entirety of Dragon Ball. What about the most iconic Kamehamehas in the series then? Well, that's a little more narrow, because I guess I should keep clicking on this character. But I guess then we start to look at characters like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, who has one of the most impactful, most iconic Kamehamehas that has ever existed. It is the Super Saiyan 2 one he does versus Cell, wherein he defeats him by channeling his father's power, right? We can go back to Kamehameha here. We can think of some other extremely iconic Kamehameha characters, such as... And how far back do I have to go for this? Such as... This is a great example of a great Kamehameha. I think this is a classic one. This is a great example of a Kamehameha as a classic one. And this one right here. I think all three of these are very iconic. The Super Meteor Smash is amazing looking, but the Super Kamehameha, obviously, as his move to defeat, yes, this looks gorgeous. But this is obviously the times 10 Kamehameha, an amazing, amazing looking one, or times 4, sorry. Amazing, amazing Kamehameha. One of the more iconic moments in the series, obviously. I've said it before in a video that is going to come out after this, but arguably the most iconic moment in Shonen in terms of getting the series started. You could argue that this is the... You could argue that a part of the reason Shonen as a genre has sustained itself after the original big three, quote unquote, of like Slam Dunk and what was it? Fist of the North Star and Dragon Ball, is because of a moment like this, which set the tone for Battle Shonen thereafter, right? And then of course, the Angry Kamehameha, which is the Goku's frown, the de facto change in Goku as a character, the tonal shift of the series. It all comes back and culminates with this moment, and is quite possibly the first big like expression of like transformation hype in Shonen in general. This was a huge moment. You see characters take on the sort of Saiyan aura thereafter in shows like Hunter x Hunter with Uvagin. Like this moment rippled through anime in a big way. So when we say Kamehameha, you can kind of see the point, but what does Kamehameha mean, right? Even as far after as Daima, Goku, his Kamehameha looks gorgeous. What instead I think this could mean, and maybe people wouldn't like this, maybe they would, is we go to cards, we just type in Goku. Maybe this is a hint at, hey, the battles of Goku. And again, you're kind of like, no duh, like battles of Goku, isn't that everything? Isn't that all of Dragon Ball? But there are a few battles in general that stand out as the Goku fights, right? Things like Super Saiyan 4 here, things like the Saiyan Saga here, things like UI versus Jiren finally, things like... Let's keep passing through. Well, let's just see as we pass them through and sort of find the ones that are truly meaningful. Things like, of course, him at the World Tournament against Piccolo. We can... Beerus you could argue that this moment changed the perception of Dragon Ball in modern times. It finally brought Dragon Ball to a very modern identity. It was the first time people were really excited about Dragon Ball again. You could go as far as to say, and this is where we do a little scrolling here. Yes, this fight against them, and I kind of want the TUR. Whatever the case may be. I was gonna say TUR Namek Goku, but another, again, Kid Buu versus Goku is extremely iconic, and Super Saiyan 2 is just the form we see a lot out of Goku come, you know, Majin Buu saga, Majin Buu era Goku, right? It's just a great form. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, Kamehameha, probably not, right? Probably not, but it's just too varied, it's too wide. Whereas the more reasonable to me choice just looks like a Battles of Goku celebration. As for who the characters alongside him could be, I mean, I don't know. They could literally do every major Goku, you know what I mean? So maybe we go back to cards. Again, we type in Goku, and then we're looking at characters like him versus Jiren. Is there a... Can I go to Namek? This is an extremely important moment, and the card art does look amazing, right? And so does this one, you know. But they could do one of these. Then let's say for Super, they use this. All right. And then let's say for, which isn't loading there we go. They use this. And then let's say for GT, they use this. They probably won't do Dragon Ball, sadly. They probably won't do Super Saiyan God Goku, but that'd be cool. And that could. There's been a lot of Majin content this year leading into 2025, so they could very much do a Super Saiyan 2 Goku. I would just say, if this logo means anything to me right now, it specifically just means that we're getting a... right now, it means that we're getting a Goku celebration. I don't think it's Kamehameha. I think it's Goku's adventures through Dragon Ball. And I think that's pretty hype, you know? But what do you think? You know, ultimately, what do you think? Do you think we're getting a Goku celebration? Do you think this leans more to Kamehameha? Do you think it just doesn't really correlate at all and it's just a fun logo? The logo typically does have something to do with the characters. I'll say that. Like, maybe it's not like one-to-one perfectly succinct, but I mean, you go through them. 8-year was Spirit Bomb, right? 7-year was, yeah, here we go. You know, this wasn't, because this was Janemba and Gogeta, right? Or yeah, Janemba and Gogeta. This didn't. This did. This was the 4s. This technically didn't, because this was Gogeta and Vegito. This did. We just got them easy aid. This did. This was Spirit Bombs. This is Gogeta. So we do have 3, essentially, that have nothing to do with each other. But since then, it's been pretty on point, right? Like, this is literally them on the planet with Broly. So we'll see. We'll have to see. For now, I'm just going to say fun animation, fun little brain teaser, but don't put too much stock in it. If I had to, we're probably looking at a Goku celebration, but more closely, it's just like a celebration. The Kamehameha is iconic. Every single time a new, like, shiny shonen thing happens, they go, oh my god, is this now more iconic than the Kamehameha? And it's like, well, you know, let's not get too ridiculous. It's the bar still, so more often than not, or more likely than not, this is probably just a fun logo to cook up going into the 10th. But we'll see. We'll see. I've been Lone. If you like the video, subscribe to join the club. We all gonna make it. Peace.